So I went back and rewatched The Day Before Us Season 1. You know, that super short romance anime where each episode is only like 2 minutes long. When I first watched it as a teenager, I thought this was peak storytelling. Like, why waste time with filler when you can just give me all the umbrella moments, coffee sips, and shoulder naps? Rewatching it now though, it feels less like a romance anime and more like a TikTok compilation of best romantic scenes. But hey, maybe that's not a bad thing. Today I want to talk about 3 things this anime does. Sometimes really well, sometimes not so much. This anime lives and dies on tiny gestures. There's no long speeches about love, no dramatic backstories. It's all umbrellas, coffee cups, and half a second of hand holding. Take episode 1. Yeon Woo shielding Haeun from the rain. That's it. That's the whole scene. But it instantly tells you who they are. He's quiet and reserved, she's flustered and reactive. When he forgets to give her the umbrella after, boom, romance and comedy in 90 seconds. Or the coffee scene. Yeorum drinks from Kim's cup, and suddenly he's spiraling, imagining the indirect kiss. It's ridiculous, it's overdramatic, but it works, because we've all been there when a small gesture feels 10 times bigger than it actually is. That's what A Day Before Us gets right. It remembers how, when you're crushing on someone, every tiny thing feels like it matters. And because the episodes are so short, those little details get spotlighted. Another thing this anime does surprisingly well is using silence. Most of the emotional beats don't come from dialogue, they come from pauses, awkward stares, or just not saying anything at all. Like that boss scene when Yereum asks if Yeonwoo and Haeun are close. He instantly says no, and the silence after, brutal. Haeun doesn't even need to react. The air itself tells you how much that stung. Or the bus scene where Haeun asks why Yeonwoo sat next to her when there were plenty of empty seats, and he just says, "Because you are here." Simple, straightforward. Silence does the heavy lifting. Sometimes it's powerful. The taxi ride with Yeorum and Kim, easily the best scene. He's sitting there, hand trembling, wanting to confess but too scared. She brushes his hand in her sleep and he's absolutely losing it inside. That silence is more than a monologue ever could. But sometimes it's also kind of frustrating, because the show is so short, we don't get much beyond the awkward pauses. It's subtle, yeah, but sometimes it feels like there just wasn't time to actually develop the characters. Silence works, but too much of it risks making them feel flat. And here's the real question. Is condensing all of romance anime into 2-minute scenes a genius idea, or kind of a mess? On one hand, younger me loved it. No filler, no waiting, just pure vibes. Every episode is a highlight reel. Confession, umbrella, snow, boom, boom, boom. On the other hand, older me sees the cracks. Relationships don't always feel earned because we skip everything in between. Sometimes it feels like watching just the trailers without the movie. But maybe that's the point. It's romance distilled down to its most dramatic moments. Like drinking espresso instead of a whole coffee. Strong, quick, maybe too quick, but memorable. So yeah, rewatching A Day Before Us Season 1 was interesting. I get why I loved it when I was younger. Every scene feels huge, like the world is built out of nothing but romantic tension. Now, I see it a little differently. It's sweet, it's goofy, it's flawed, but it's still fun. What do you think though? Would you watch more romance anime that just skips straight to the best moments? Or do you need that slow burn build up to actually care? Let me know in the comments, and if you want me to cover Season 2 or even Season 0, I am down. I'll catch you sooner rather than later.